Hello visuals, welcome to the channel, welcome back to Pokemon. That's a very dirty jumper. Welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, and then day of the week we talk about who would be the first to get a nightmare from Freddy Krueger in the world of Pokemon. Who would be? That would be quite fucked. Like, I imagine Freddy Krueger entering the dreams of like a Hypno or a Drowsy and being like Drowsy just there. I think even Freddy Krueger would be like, the fuck's going on here? In fact, Freddy Krueger would get absolutely baffled by that, because one of them boysies or someone could come along and use Dream Eater and he'd be absolutely Freddy Krueger wouldn't handle the water. Freddy Krueger ain't got shit on a fucking Totodile. I said Totodile because we're about to speak about him soon. Yes, of course, visuals, we're here to talk about Regularo Pokemon, and we're just going to finish our mini series of one that I fucking knew I was going to do, and I tried to put it off a bit whilst I could, because I didn't know if you guys were getting sick of me just doing loads of type list videos. It's what they've all been lately on Pokemon Thursday. I do apologise, but it's been fun. Still, for me anyway. A few weeks back we did my favourite grass type starters, and now last week we did my fire starters, and then this week we're going to do my favourite water type starters. Obviously 9 to go from, again, a lot of classic, epic, legendary Pokemon inside of this list, and a couple ones that I'm like, no, Superman not home, don't like. No. Please, visuals, get yourselves in the comments below and tell us who your favourite water type starter is. I think I know who James is going to be. I'm going to say it now, and I think it's a bold statement, but I think I remember you saying this. But your favourite is Mudkip. And is Mudkip potentially your favourite starter of all time? I think so, because I know it was your first starter. I'm sure you said a few years backward, because obviously the home games are your first games, and I'm sure you said Mudkip was your first starter, and your first starter always sits with you. So I think Mudkip's your answer. Yes, visuals, let's get a crack-a-lacking and take a look at my take a look at all the 9 water starters, but put them in order from least favourite to favourite. This off, we have Quaxly. Now, I don't actually have a shitload against Quaxly. It probably is the weakest design out of all the water starters, and the whole line itself is probably the worst line in water type starter Pokemon history. For me personally, sorry if it's your favourite or whatever, it's just for me. I hate the whole thing. And I guess, again, it's not Quaxly's fault, but I hate the way that it come with a bit of like, okay, it looks alright, but hopefully it's going to get better. It's got potential. I can see what they're going to do with it. And then for them to do what they did with it, and I was completely wrong. I said, I didn't see that coming at all. I did not see that one bit. And I just think it's one of the most ugliest, horrible, annoying. I hate the way fucking Quacka Vaca Freisha Vakaduville with the thingy, he stands there doing his little, and again, I know it's not Quaxly's fault, but it's, you know, he's guilty because of the sins of his father and all that kind of shit. Yeah, but anyway, Quaxly's the worst design. It's the worst starter. It's the only starter Pokemon so far in history, in the world of my Pokemon history, that I have not used as my starter Pokemon yet so far, because I've only done 2 playthroughs of Scarlet and Violet. So that day's coming though, I'm going to have to choose him. But Quaxly. 8 is Oshawott. Now, there's something weird with Oshawott, right? I hate it at one time, and then I love it at another time. The Gen 5 starters, anyway, as a whole, all round, are either the worst or the second worst starters for me anyway, in terms of design and stuff. And Oshawott comes along, and I love the name. I love going into Duat. I love Samurott, but I look at Samurott and I think, you're vile and disgusting. Duat, you're okay. But I like the concept of the shell and all that kind of stuff. I love the whole ninja aspect at play behind it. But then, yeah, I look at Oshawott and I go, you're cute and adorable, because I've got plushing out of him and landing. And then I'll go back to him and go, you're actually really weird looking, and I don't know how you look like a water type starter. I don't know, there's some weird sort of little inner paradox I fight and I go through with Oshawott. And yeah, he's just not up there. He's number 8. 7 is Piplup. Now, I think it's definitely safe to say that 7 from all the way to the rest of them now are all ones that I really enjoy and I really like. I just had to rank them somewhere. But Piplup, we've gone for... It should be a bit higher. Penguins are my favourite Pokemon, my favourite animal in real life. I adore penguins and stuff. But there's something about Piplup that feels a little bit... personalityless, if that's the word, if that's a word. I don't know, I look at Chimchar, I look at Turtwig, and I can see character, I can see life there. I look at Piplup, and I just sort of see it's just a penguin, and it hasn't got, anyway, to me, anyway, that is, I could be, you know, looking at it all wrong. There'll be people out there that adore Piplup, and I just look at it and think it's a bit of a basic bitch in terms of design and how a water type should look and the embodiment of Pokemon. When we go into Empoleon, I completely see it. Empoleon looks great. And Piplup does look good, but it just seems a bit flat to me. I don't know. It just seems a bit okay. I love penguins and I love water type starters, but okay, you're just a bit meh. 6 is Poplio, and again, I really like the design of Poplio. I think Poplio is a fun water type. I don't love the whole line altogether. I think it drops off for me design-wise. I think Decidueye and Incineroar look fantastic for the Alola Boise's, and then when we get the full Poplio line, I don't know, it looks... there's effort gone into there, but I just think it's a bit stale. And kind of like Piplup, it looks a bit basic. It just looks like a seal. But the only reason why I've put it above Piplup is because when I see it anyway in the anime and stuff, it seems like it has a bit more character. Now I know Piplup had a lot of stuff going for, you know, with Dawn and whatnot, and it did have a lot of fun episodes and it did do a lot of stuff. But I still just sort of see flat energy. Whereas Poplio, I seem to have got a little bit more. Maybe it was because of the way that it was animated or the way that it showed it glistening through the water and stuff. I don't know. It looks a little bit more water typey as well. Again, I know Piplup doesn't like a water type starter. But Piplup, is that a combination? Poplio just seems a little bit more Pokemon-y for me, if that makes sense. There's a thing I use a lot on the channel, a Pokemon-y Pokemon. And if Ronto viewers will have heard me say that a million times. Anybody new wondering what the fuck I'm on about, they're all Pokemon, they all look like Pokemon. But Poplio's got that more Pokemon-y Pokemon feel to me as opposed to Piplup. 5 is Sobble. Now, I actually really love Sobble. I love that it's this cryy little baby, little fucking hiding away, and oh no, I'm a little sad thingy. I know the rest of the line of Teleon that got a lot of hate. I can see where they're coming from, but I personally, I absolutely like it. I think the whole line's great, and I love the character of Sobble. It was quite new and unique. Yes, we've seen wimpy, cryy baby sort of Pokemon before, but the starters are supposed to be these sort of bold, ready to go on the adventure with your sort of let's fucking have it sort of kind of Pokemon. And Sobble just sort of feels a little bit different with the thought process and what's going on behind, like I said, with its crying animation, it's scared constantly and whatnot. And I just think it's adorable little bastard. It looks exactly how I want a water type starter to sort of look, and it's just a cool Pokemon. 4 is Froakie. Now I can definitely hands down say that it's a lot of it is because of Ash. Froakie was, to be fair, it's quite the carbon copy, opposite of Sobble, wasn't it? It was quite brave and sort of up there. I don't remember it being... Yeah, I remember it being quite... That's been a while since I've watched X and Y. I'm sure I remember episodes where it was fairly going at Ash and stuff. Anyway, Froakie is absolutely awesome. It's one of the few times as well that I think in a generation where the water type starter is my favourite to the grass type. It's usually always a grass type, but maybe definitely not in Gen 5 and definitely not in Gen 6. I don't know how I feel about Gen 9 yet. I keep changing an and an R in. I think Fuecoco is my favourite. But it's usually the grass type starters that win me over, and I do like Chespin. But I really love Froakie, and I love the way that we went, again, the whole line, all the way up to Greninja. Everything about it is awesome. Frog sort of esque Pokemon as well always really do it for us. I always think, like these free part evolutions that are like froggy or have like a cool sort of design like that, where they take real world animals that I love frogs and stuff, and they keep the embodiment of it, but they make it over the top like they do with Froggy. You can see it's a frog, but you can see it's very much over the top. Like I love the Poliwag line, and in terms of grass stuff, I love the Victory Bell line, like that kind of stuff. And yeah, Froakie's awesome. I think it's a fantastic design. I think it was a great way to change us into this 3D world with seeing our starters in this 3D format and stuff, and his stance and his sprite and everything about him. So cool. The design behind it, the concept behind everything about it, to be fair, is awesome. I love me some Froakie. And it's Mudkip. Yeah, I love Mudkip. And again, I've just said it before about being shy and timid. Was Mudkip a bit of a shy, timid starter? Again, it's been a fucking while since I've done the Hoenn anime. But I feel like Mudkip might have been the sort of same, a bit timid and shy and stuff. I could be wrong. I might just be remembering wrong there. But, I love Mudkip. There's not much you could say about Mudkip that I would agree with if you, in terms of if you didn't like it for whatever reason, design and stuff like that. Even going on to be Waterground, I really enjoy that. Swampert, I absolutely fucking adore. Absolutely amazing. The only thing I'm not huge on, which I do still really like, is when he evolves. He looks a bit, I don't know, he's got the derpy factor, but it's, I don't know, there's something a little bit, it's like the weakest link. Mudkip, awesome. We evolve, nah. We evolve again, fucking awesome. It's like a little wave. But Mudkip itself is so phenomenal. It's up against Trico, who I absolutely adore, and Torchic, who I'm not a huge fan of, but Trico and Mudkip are some of the pinnacles of Pokemon feels and designs and whatnot, and what I want a starter type to look like design-wise. Mudkip is a beast. 2 is, of course, Totodile. So you've obviously guessed, well, you'll be able to guess by now, the 3, 2, 1 is the generations, just in the backwards order. But Totodile, I adore. I said it with Cyndaquil and stuff, and hopefully I said it with Chikorita as well. But there's going to be a lot of nostalgia and a lot of bias and a lot of reminiscing when it comes to Totodile. Because once again, I can see the back of the covers, you know, that shiny gold or that shiny silver, and seeing the starters and seeing Totodile lit up, and how Totodile evolved. It went from this really cool, cute sort of, that's really cool, into this menacing, crazy Fraligator. And even Crocodile's a little bit like scary and menacing. It was the first time that I looked at a starter and thought, you're a fucking lunatic, aren't you? Like, you are a scary looking starter. Like, if I saw you in the wild, you would freak me the fuck out. But just like I expressed with Froakie and like my love for like Poliwhirl and stuff. Again, it's one of these animals, like why I love Crocodile and all that stuff. Like an alligator or a crocodile or any of the sort of creatures in the real world, they get used in Pokemon, and the way they do this evolution process and how they, I don't know, they get it to, I don't know, there's something about the 3 steps, well, the basic, stage 1, stage 2, and then what animal it's designed off it, like proper eats us, and I'm like, oh, that just looks fucking epic. And I just think Croconaw, well, yeah, Croconaw, but the whole line Totodile are absolutely phenomenal, and I love Totodile's crying the way he sounds and stuff in the anime. He's an absolute beast, an absolute unit. Totodile for the win, number 2. Of course, shock factor, the Gen 1 guy gives the number 1 spot to the Gen 1 starter. Yeah, but it's Squirtle. The absolute pinnacle and the absolute perfection of what a Pokemon is, you know, from start to finish, all the way up to Bulbasaur. There's so much so that goes along with it. Like the original Blastoise card, I love. The original Squirtle card, Wartortle cards, I absolutely adore. To a point where you could have argued at some stage I had a bit of a Squirtle mania. We used to go to loads of like Halloween parties and stuff when we were younger and stuff, and I always had a Squirtle costume, purely as well because it was easy to make. You know, just painted myself blue, got cardboard cutouts, put them as my shell and stuff, hung them over and whatnot. And I was always Squirtle. And I don't know why, there was a moment after many playthroughs of Bulbasaur, Squirtle was always my next go-to. And I just fucking love the little bastard. Like I said, it fits the mold perfectly. It is a Pokemon. It is the ultimate pinnacle design of what a starter type should look like. We've got so many epic memories of, you know, Blue with his Squirtle and whatnot, or different parts of the anime, or the Squirtle squad with their glasses, and Ash and his Squirtle and shit. I don't know, he's just fucking perfection, really, isn't he? Like, it's, when people go in to Gen 1 and they say, my favourite starter is Charmander, my favourite starter is Squirtle, my favourite starter is Bulbasaur, I can always be like, I completely get why you've gone for either and any of them. I can understand the love for you, and you. And then when people go to other gens and they'll be like, I personally can't see why you're a massive Snivy guy. I can't see why you're a huge Tepig guy. But with Gen 1 starters, to be fair, even with Gen 2, it's kind of the same as Gen 1. It's perfect, but Gen 1's still more perfectly perfect. But just Squirtle's amazing. I fucking love him. Anyway, visuals, there we have it. My favourite water type starters from 9 down to 1. Please let me know yours in the comments below. And I just had a lot of perfecty and Pokemon. I love Squirtle so much. Because I really want to know who your favourite is and whatnot, and who your least favourite is and reasons why, and who your first ever starter was. One of these water types your first ever starter. Like I said, I'm pretty sure James did say Mudkip was his first ever starter, but I might have remembered that wrong. I'm talking like a fucking Jonathan Wass. I remembered that wrong. I need to go to bed, but I'm going to work soon. Anyway, visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. Hopefully we don't have a list next week. I can't guarantee it. I haven't written up what next week's video idea is as of yet. So we'll see what happens next week. But apart from that, visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the best. Boys, keep being you and keep on keeping on.